Hello friends, I'm Varun Vohra, a US-based known expert in the area of IT risk, IT audit, IT security and IT compliance. Welcome to my channel, IT with Varun Vohra, to master the fundamentals and concepts not available anywhere, neither in any book nor over the web. Most trusted and only channel with over 200 videos which will help build or advance your career in IT audit, IT security, IT SOX, IT risk and IT compliance. Friends, as part of the Conceptual Bytes series, I'm covering more real life business examples of each of the 5 common types of automated controls. And in the same series, today we'll cover examples of authorization IT application or automated control. So first, what is an authorization automated control? Automated controls to avoid unauthorized access to data is an authorization automated control. Let us go through a few real life business examples of authorization automated control. So first example is an inventory application enforcing segregation of duties that employees who perform physical inventory counts cannot reconcile or update inventory records. A very simple and known example when it comes to an inventory application where segregation of duties is enforced between employees who perform the inventory counts and the ones who can update the inventory records. That's an example of a authorization automated control. That enforcement of SOD basically is that control. Second example is a finance application granting access to financial data or operations based on user roles like accountants, auditors, executives. So granting of access to financial data from a role-based access perspective, that's an example of authorization automated control. Next, an ERP application enforcing segregation of duties by allowing one user to prepare a purchase order but requiring another user to review and approve it. Another real world business example of authorization automated control wherein the SOD is enforced between a user preparing a purchase order and the one approving it. So that enforcement of SOD in an automated way is an example of authorization automated control. Next, a payment application requiring secondary approval for processing amounts greater than a certain threshold, so that additional or secondary approval being required for amounts greater than a certain limit, that being enforced by the system. In this case, the payment application is an example of authorization automated control. Next, a payroll application requiring approval from HR and finance managers before payroll is processed. Another simple example of authorization automated control where approval from HR and finance manager is required before payroll is processed. That enforcement of approval in an automated way by the application is an example of authorization automated control. Next, an accounting application enforcing segregation of duties that a user assigned to accounts receivable cannot modify accounts payable. Another classical example from the finance world wherein SOD is enforced between user who is assigned to accounts receivable cannot modify accounts payable. That enforcement of SOD in an automated way by the accounting application is an example of an authorization automated control. Next is a budget application requiring department head approval for reallocation of funds across budgets. So that enforcement of department head approval for reallocation of funds by the application in an automated way is an example of authorization automated control. And the last example is a banking application requiring dual independent approvals for high value wire transfers, a very common scenario in any bank. So this enforcement of dual independent approvals for high value wire transfers by the application in an automated way is an example of our authorization automated control. I hope this conceptual byte was helpful. You can get a much deeper understanding through the in-depth videos on my channel covering details not available anywhere else. You can find the relevant links on the end screen and in the description section of this video. Keep watching. Bye.